there's this stupid argument that straight actors shouldn't play LGBT roles in movies and TV shows. And this recently came up again when Bradley Cooper played Leonard Bernstein, or however this is pronounced. I'm just saying, like, it's not the only time people called that out. When I look at tweets from back in the day, like, they were showing, like, Brokeback Mountain and everything. But I'm just saying, if you would do your research about these actors, there is no need to be outraged. Just saying. But let's just assume, according to your logic, straight actors shouldn't play LGBT roles. It is stupid to argue that way, obviously, but because people still bring it up, I have to make a video about that. For instance, there was this movie on Netflix called Blonde, I think, with Ana de Armas. I don't know how this is pronounced. And she, like, did she talk to Marilyn Monroe? Did she know Marilyn Monroe personally? No, but she still managed to portray her. Like, she probably watched interviews, movies, like, read a book about her. I don't know, but that's what it means to be an actor. You don't have to be that exact person. You don't have to be that sexuality. Like imagine someone back in the day was in a closet. Like, yeah, let's say it this way. Let's imagine Rock Hudson never came out. And as a side note, if you don't know him, he was basically outed for being gay when HIV, like, appeared. And, but let's just say he stayed in a closet, died in a closet, and someone would make a movie about him. And then nobody would be outraged when a straight actor plays him, because nobody would have known that he was actually a gay man. You get my point. In the end, what matters here that you know the personality. You don't need to be a gay person to like, maybe you have some advantage, like what it means being gay, but it is not that deep, you know. Especially in a movie where it's not constantly about, like, this topic of homosexuality and so on. With that being said, I also wanted to point out the hypocrisy of Hollywood. For instance, they always, like, at first I want to say I'm totally not denying that there is an LGBT mafia. When a celebrity speaks out against gay rights, says something that is deemed homophobic or transphobic, this person gets cancelled. However, for instance, I still think Hollywood is kind of like homophobic. I'm not using this word lightly. Hear me out. For instance, there was this controversy about this Lightyear movie with starring Chris Evans, and there was, like, Buzz Lightyear had a partner, I think, and this partner was also one of the main characters and was a lesbian. Like, at the end you saw that she had a wife and kissed her wife, and as a result a lot of people didn't want their children to see that movie. I'll make a video about that too in the future, but for now just keep in mind that Disney, with that statement, presented themselves as pro-LGBT. They didn't censor the movie. I think they showed it in a bunch of Western countries uncensored. As a result, this movie wasn't shown in other countries, and you know which countries I'm speaking of. And but you also know that Disney owns Marvel, and I think I'm not really a fan of these superhero movies, but that also means that you know, when you do your research, you will find out that a lot of these actors, these Marvel actors, they are LGBT themselves. And, however, these A-list actors are forced by the industry to stay in the closet. And if it were just that, I get it, because when let's say a guy comes out as gay, he has less fans, less fame, especially in countries where homosexuality is outlawed. I get it. But it isn't just that. These actors are forced into these PR marriages, or forced to have PR girlfriends. They are forced to have basically PR children to portray themselves as heterosexual family men, which is complete hypocrisy from people who, first of all, they say they are pro-LGBT. How is this pro-LGBT? I'm not stupid, and you can't fool me. I just mentioned Rock Hudson. This hasn't ended. Search the internet for the term lavender marriage. This is still going on. Remember how recently the Obama letter got leaked with his gay fantasies? He's basically a celebrity too. You know what Joan Rivers said about him. And it's not just me making this stuff up. This A-list actress, you all know her, Kate Winslet, talked about that too. And as I said, I'm not using that word lightly, but forcing gay men to marry women, if that isn't homophobic, what is? And it's, in general, as a side note, this also happens to heterosexual men in Hollywood who just want to like have fun, want to sleep around. Why not? They're rich and famous. I would take the opportunity too. However, these men are also forced to be in marriages, portraying themselves as stable family men. And when that also does not add up, because when you say you are pro-LGBT, that means you are against traditional gender roles. And I'm not saying this is a good thing or anything, I'm just saying from their perspective. They sound Hollywood, in my eyes, when I thought that out loud, they sound pretty much as conservatives. And nothing against conservatives, just saying, first of all, people who claim to be pro-LGBT, who claim to be liberal, to do something like that. It is hypocrisy. And just calling out the inconsistency, because I'm sick and tired of it, because they say they support me, they're showing me all these fictional characters who are LGBT. What do I gain from fictional characters when there are real life people who are suffering? And yes, these actors are suffering. Imagine, yes, you are famous, you are known worldwide, but you are known for someone you aren't, for a completely different personality. For a lie, basically. And conservatives, for you, this message is also important, because you always say that marriage is something holy. And when these people only marry someone because they want to hide the fact that they are gay, this is basically defiling the sanctity of marriage. So you may think it's all great that your favorite actor is like the family man, but when you find out why they're doing this, you're basically cheering on fakeness. This is not in your best interest either. This is destroying basically marriage. When this will come out, I'm making sure of it, starting with this video. And with that being said, the main point of that video still stands. Straight actors should be able to play gay characters. Like, for instance, there was this movie with portraying about Freddie Mercury, his life story. I think Freddie Mercury was bisexual, and he was portrayed. Yeah, okay, this is again a bad example. Just we keep it at that. Straight actors should be able to play LGBT people, because we LGBT people are a minority. And of course, at one point, straight people will portray us like there aren't just enough of us available. And a lot of these A-list actors are still, like, despite what I just said, I'm not one of these crazy people who says everyone is gay and lesbian and bi and so on. There are also a bunch of A-listers. The majority is heterosexual. When the majority is heterosexual, it is only clear that when this director wants this story about a gay man, he wants this to be a successful movie. He wants an A-list actor. As I said, most A-list actors are straight. That's acting. And when you make these special rules, LGBT community, when you always annoy people, this actor can play this gay man because he isn't gay himself. Like, at one point people flip. They want to cater to us being annoying. And at one point we won't see movies like that at all anymore.